Unmasking the Band President. What's really going on? Pete, set the scene for us, and then we can chew it over.
Earlier this year, I can't remember, it was about the start of this year, President got added to the bill for download, and they had no music out. So it was kind of like, who is this band? No one had ever heard of them. There was no music out. So, of course, speculation runs rife about, is it Vessels or the band? That was like the main sort of thing that people were speculating about. But then first music dropped about 3 weeks ago now. So the first single was In the Name of the Father. In 2 weeks, that single managed to generate over 1 million views on YouTube. And so this is a band that has no history up until that point, no music. They got themselves on the bill for download, and it's a masked anonymous band, another one. And I must admit, when all of this was coming about, I was thinking, oh man, is this, are we getting force-fed to this? Because I remember you and Jews had a talk about the idea of industry plants, right? And I actually think this probably is maybe a bit more of a fairer conversation on that. So for those of you that don't know, the band President, they actually share the management with Sleep Token, same management company. Immediately, they've got a head start, which means that they can get in front, get on the bill for download, and generate hype the way in which a band, let's say, who was it just added to the big band bill? Is it Risen?
Yes.
Risen? Risen, sorry.
Yeah, Risen.
Yeah, they're able to generate an insane amount of hype the way in which Risen just wouldn't be able to, because they don't have those kind of resources there. But I think, here's the rub. The music's good. Of course, everyone is saying it's Charlie Simpson from Fight Star and Busted.
That makes sense, by the way.
Just because of the voice. Like, he's got a very, very identifiable voice. But from what I've gathered, if it is Charlie, he said that he's never going to reveal that it's him. They drop another single called Fearless, and in that video there is a mask revealing
at the end.
Everyone's speculating it's just a red herring. It's just an actor, and it's really fascinating to see the response from people within the scene about all of this, because there are those who are going, it's great music, I just really enjoy it, and then there are others going like, this is a genuine skipping the queue. And so I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that, because is it skipping the queue if, let's say it is Charlie, and he's someone who's been in the scene for God knows how many years, and I have seen Charlie Simpson play with Fight Star in Wrexham in a 500 cap room playing to about 300 people. Yeah. Like, he's done the grunt work.
Yeah, he has.
So he's put in all of that hard work. So does that then make this like a whole industry plant thing, or is it just them being smart after 20 years of learning?
I guess without knowing the whole story, I think jumping the queue happens all the time, because a band shows up and for whatever reason have support or get support from grassroots level or from management, and they surpass other names on the bill, and all of a sudden they're headlining and say, they haven't put in their 20 years of hard work. And okay, in this case with Charlie Simpson, yes, certainly has put in the hard work. And has talked about how difficult that was, because, leaving the pop punk or the pop scene and then coming to be a credible rock act is incredibly difficult. And he didn't really quite manage it, even though he's very good. For whatever he's
though, I mean, Fight Star last year played Wembley Arena as a comeback show.
Yeah, that's true. So, that is true.
So, I think that Fight Star did, I think, succeed in the goal that they set out to do, which was to be a credible rock band in the scene. Okay, did they become as big as Guns N' Roses? No, but they became pretty successful.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair comment. But I think it would make kind of sense to use the mask to not have his name associated with it. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't automatically, it's Charlie Simpson. So I can get that angle. Or if it is Sleep Token's management, so another band replicates what one band has done really successfully, another one copies it. Wow, industry news, that's been happening since the age of time. Why is this different? Why would you pick this moment? It's because maybe it doesn't stick to your narrative. Maybe you don't like the way things are going, because it's not what you are into, whatever. Whereas other people who are into this going, yeah, they're all in. Which, once again, is exactly what's been happening ever since music has been around. Because this is not my thing.
See, what I think is actually quite fascinating with this. So back in the day when bands were quote unquote copying each other, that would ferment a scene.
Yes.
Whether that was the Bay Area thrash in the 80s, where you had like
hair metal,
Exodus, Testament, Metallica, Megadeth. They were all copying each other to a certain degree. They were all influenced by each other. Same with the grunge bands, and so you could argue today that that's kind of what is going on here. This is an addition to the scene at the moment, and undoubtedly the scene is being absolutely dominated by Sleep Token, Ghost as well. And so this is an addition to that, but it very much feels like there is quite a large pushback, and it's this idea of this new band being forced down from the media. And I do kind of get it, because when the media acts in unison like this and goes like, right, you must love this band, there is that feeling of like, off. Like I kind of get that. So I'm almost a little torn. Like I can understand where certain fans feel like, God, here's just a band that's just getting rammed down my throat by the media. But knowing what I do about the band, and if it is Charlie, because it's not being confirmed to say if it is Charlie, then yeah, he certainly earned his cues over the years. But I think it would be pretty cool if there was like a scene again, as it were. Like let's say in 20 years time there was a name that came for this, being like, it was the masked metal scene
exactly.
of the 20s, the masked metal scene. But I think it'd be cool because we haven't really had like a scene in a very, very long time. It's all been pick and mix, bits of this, bits of that, nothing defined as like, this is the thing that's happening right now.
And when you say media, this is a label that's doing this, a label and a management company. It's not the print, and or it's not the media as we understand it in terms of.
They are working in unison with
it's
other brands, though. So, like, the day it all happened, Rock Sound had a big cover, and then there was lots of spread in Loudwire and then other places. And very quickly, it felt like, and it looked like the media just acted as one.
Yeah, but...
And you know what? If that was the case, then as someone who has worked for a large metal label in Nuclear Blast, then that just means they did their job right.
When we started this podcast, I said I was introduced to the band through Primordial as a song. And I went, ooh, it's a new band, new edition, new music. Oh, this is really good. I like this. I didn't get all the, I didn't get the hype train. I didn't even know that. Yep. So it's interesting to be served up a song on its own, just through your ears with your eyes closed. And then,
you make
it, and then you make your decision and go, oh yeah, okay, that's cool. And then if there is sort of all the accoutrement that's around them, then fair enough. But I, as a song, I'm with you. In the Name of the Father is well. As soon as I heard him, wow, these are good. Who are they? I wanted to know more. So that,
and then you start, then that's where you start peeling all of these layers. Looking forward, what's going to be really interesting is the set that is coming up at Download Festival, because
where are they?
It's Sunday, actually. It's Sunday.
Okay, cool.
So we're good. And it does look like it could be maybe 2:00. The stage times will be there. They're on the Download app. I think it's their debut live performance. They've got a show at the Garage in London. I can't remember if that's before or after Download.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see how the first live performance of this is, like how rammed that tent is, and I guess like what it sounds like live.
I'm gonna go.
Same.
Yeah, I'll say, well, with you and I, let's go, and then we can report back next week.
I'll be there. I think.
Okay.
I think it's just going to be one of those really, really fascinating sets, because the difference between our scene and perhaps quite a lot of other scenes is that if it does not get through the live, if people don't enjoy this live, it's done. Like if people watch it live and go, "Me, that was terrible," then this could be all over within a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but and they tried. You know what I mean? They say, well, let's do this. But if this is, what I keep on saying to Dewsbury when we talk about this, if the music is good and they are good, the rest of it is maybe a distraction or an augmentation, either or. But if the music is crap and they're not any good, they will be found out. No matter what you put around them, no matter how much you say they're good. If you don't like them, you'll make that decision pretty quickly, if not already, and go, nope, not for me. Right, yeah. So we think around 2:00 on Sunday, we'll see you in the Dogtooth for what could be the most amazing show or just a meh. Like always.
Yep.
Always.
We'll find out. That's
Indeed.
the great thing about music.
Yeah, agreed.
Primordial Radio.